That's right, y'all. Let it be known, let it be known. We now have an individual who has been freed. She done been freed, y'all. Hopefully, we'll come in just to get the story. It's pretty much hot off the presses. It's pretty much hot off the presses. Brittany Griner is now free, y'all. She already been released. How long she been in that prison? In that Russian prison? How long has she been in that Russian prison? Huh? Everybody's been worried about this young lady. Everybody's been praying for this young lady. Everybody has pretty much known that this young lady is not exactly innocent of the crime, but we also figured, wait a minute. This is her medicine, Jayla Mink. This is her medicine. She was only caught with a little bit of the substance. So we couldn't quite understand why she was being held for so long. But then again, we justified it almost by saying, thank you for pressing that like button. We almost justified it by saying, well, you shouldn't have no weed in a foreign country. No, you always want to fight. So they've always been fighting. It doesn't matter how many people were praying for her or not. Her own team, and we don't know about the WNBA or not, but her whole team, family, her wife, have been fighting for this young lady. So now let's figure out and see what this means for Russia. Because we know Brittany's going to have some stories to tell. She might have a story to tell like, well, it was weird conditions, but, it was no violence up in there. I had respect up in that prison. I have no idea what she's going to say, y'all. But she is free. Brittany Griner has been released, y'all. And listen, and it was on August 4th. If you don't remember, it was in August 4th that a Russian court convicted her of drug smuggling, y'all. Drug smuggling. They sentenced her to 9 long years, y'all. 9 times 365 days in a penal colony. Last month, the Russian court denied her whole appeal, y'all, upholding her lengthy sentence. So she was pretty much set to sit down for 9 more years. Now her lawyers say that she has been transferred back then to the IK2 penal colony in Mordovia, where she's been released. I wonder who they got in exchange. Yeah, let's take a look at that guy, because and you've heard, it was a prison swap. It was a prison swap. A prisoner exchange, meaning the United States says, you know what? Why don't you hook us up? We'll hook y'all up and hook that up. And you bring her back, we'll take that back. Someone is in jail right now in the United States who Russia believes, and his name is Victor Bout. Like, I'm about to go to the store. That's his name, Victor Bout. He was an arms dealer, right? So this is a thing. We're going to look at it. The whole world is going to look at it as maybe not a good swap. Here she is in jail for a little bit of weed. A little bit of weed. I mean, if I was Russia, I would be asking for this swap too. It's a good deal. She's in jail for a little bit of weed. A little bit of weed. This dude is in the U.S. prison for what? Arms trading, weapons. Serious shit. Yeah, I'm talking about. So let's take a look at this right here before we go back to work. The U.S. and Russia have exchanged jailed U.S. basketball star Brittany Griner for notorious arms dealer Victor Bout, held in an American prison. He's been there for 12 years, y'all. The swap was approved by Joe Biden just recently, who probably just remembered she was in jail out there. Shout out to the often forgetful Joe Biden. Shout out to the very senile and quite retarded Joe Biden. He woke up and figured out that this swap should be approved. Griner was arrested at a Moscow airport back in February. So it's almost a year for possessing cannabis, y'all, oil. Cannabis oil. That's funny. Cannabis oil, y'all. They need to remind y'all how much she had, which was very little. Not even, it was probably a gram or something. President Biden tweeted that he spoke to her, that she was safe and good on her way home. The Biden administration, and again, Brittany Griner's family had to, harass the Biden administration this whole time, proposed a prisoner exchange last July. You know why it didn't happen? Because it didn't work. Russia's foreign ministry confirmed the swap, and Russian media reported that it had taken place in Abu Dhabi. Who is Victor Bout? They call him the Merchant of Death, y'all. Meanwhile, Brittany Griner was in jail almost like a merchant of cannabis, but she only had 1 gram. She had 1 gram. The Merchant of Death is who the United States is sending back to Russia. He had a 25-year jail term, y'all. Victor Bout sold weapons to warlords and rogue governments, becoming one of the world's most wanted men, unlike Brittany Griner. Dubbed the Merchant of Death for gun running in the years after the fall of the Soviet Union, the Russian exploits inspired the 2005 Hollywood film Lord of War, which was loosely based on his life. All right, y'all, write that down. Lord of War. We got to figure out who the hell was just released from the United Snakes prison. His secretive career was brought to an end by elaborate United States sting operation in 2008, either during Barack Obama or just before, when he was arrested at a hotel in Bangkok to the anger of Russia. He was extradited 2 years later, and he's been up in there 12 years, languishing in an American jail for conspiring to support terrorists and kill Americans. When negotiations began to secure Griner's release during the summer, the U.S. also made clear it wanted ex-Marine Paul Whelan to be freed. However, there's no mention of that dude, which was accused by Russia of spying as part of the prisoner exchange. So Russia did not give up the American spy. Russia did give up Brittany Griner, who never should have been there in the first place. Hit that like button, y'all. In his tweet, President Biden posted a picture from the Oval Office alongside Griner's wife, Cheryl, and Vice President Kamala Harris, who never said one word with her position as Vice President. Kamala Harris has never said one word, I don't think, about this. So we learned about this Russian, this Merchant of Death. And now we know she is no longer languishing behind jail. And it's good news. A lot of people are happy about it, I guess. A lot of people are elated. People generally, they're happy. Maybe she can come back and play for the WNBA. I don't know. We've got someone in the chat, Leonard DeYuta, that says Brandon Grinder is free. Bronze Flat Power God is in the building. Probably a clone that they released. You never know. You never know. You never know. Brittany Griner is freed. Of course, Joe Biden, he's going to do everything he can to be seen as favorable, as he just released this young lady here. And his remarks have not been spoken yet. The event was scheduled to begin now. And Linda Snyder says, hey, it was a bad trade, right? Bad trade. Leonard DeYuta did not like that movie, Lord of War. Damn, that means I ain't going to be seeing that. Miami Push to the Limit says, good. I'm glad she's free now, but let this be a lesson to not break laws overseas. Because you do not have rights as you would here. And even here, the level of rights you have is questionable. So, as you see, President Biden is supposed to be speaking shortly. We all got to go to work. But I hope and pray that you all get a chance to listen to Joe Biden and his presentation. That might be one of the few times. Hopefully he can get through it without mumbling, stumbling, stuttering, and forgetting his words. Hopefully Joe Biden can get through this presentation without mumbling, stumbling, stuttering, or forgetting his words altogether. We do believe she had no business being there, but we do, I guess, thank the dude or happy for the dude, whatever, for choosing to sign this prisoner swap, especially since Russia was not playing. Russia was not going to release anybody who committed a real serious crime in their country, which is a crime of spying. And that United States person is still there in Russian prison, Paul Whelan. United States instead, it could be for political points here at home, who knows? But the United States instead said, hey, all right, we'll let go a big-time arms dealer who was out here trying to kill Americans. We'll let him go. We'll let him free. And this is Joe Biden says, moments ago, I spoke to Brittany Griner. She's safe. She's on a plane. She's on her way home. And it is what it is, y'all. On that note, this is Marwan, Mind Over Matter TV, reporting on this 1-for-1 prisoner swap. Man for woman, or, whatever you got, you know how it is. Man for woman, it is what it is. An arms dealer for a basketball player. Someone who was trying to kill Americans and arm terrorists to kill Americans versus someone who had 1 gram or less of cannabis oil. And she's already a star in Russia playing for their basketball team, bringing them glory. And they give her a hard time. And it is what it is, y'all. We getting out of here. Make sure you check out, see whatever Joe Biden got to say, or Kamala Harris, see what they got to say. But yes, it is true. Brittany Griner, BG, is free. We will talk to y'all soon. And we will be back on another case. Peace out, y'all. One love. You lucky just to have you.